Hi, I'm Alex Brundle. I'm a driver in the World Endurance Championship and a previous BRDC Superstar.
I wanted to find out from you what it does for you as a driver.
Well, being a young driver involved with the BRDC is a massive privilege and a massive resource anyway. And then when you move through to being a superstar, it's another level of support and another level of notoriety within that community, which I think represents many communities of race car drivers around the world in their nations. The thing we have in the UK and in Britain, which is fantastic, are so many race car drivers, so many active race car drivers and people that know about motorsport. And the BRDC as an entity, for me, really reflects that community. The superstars reflect the nest full of youngsters that we're really excited about and want to move through the system, and we all get behind them.
So who were you superstars with? I knew you were there for more than 1 year, but who are the names that kind of you associate with within that peer group?
So Tom Ingram was with me, Alex Sims, a whole heap of sports car drivers and top level drivers. I believe Jolyon Palmer might have been a superstar while I was as well. So as a group, we had fun. We got involved in some activities, and also Tim Harvey at that time was very much engaged with us in terms of having that kind of. He was dad. He was superstar dad, and you could always get on to Tim. But the activities, along with that kind of camaraderie and the contacts, are the thing that really stands out for me. I mean, obviously, I have the massive benefit of dad's help, and then associated contacts. But I remember for those sports car drivers specifically that I was a superstar with, getting access to that world was so helpful for them. And one of those, it was a check your privilege moment, actually, really, for me, because that access to the world of those great drivers and great names was a massively big deal for all of us, actually, as a group.
Why was it such a big deal? What is it like being a young driver who, doesn't have a huge amount of backing, who's finding their way?
It can be a tough world out there, and there are a lot of sharks in the ocean. Let's be honest, in motorsport, these things they cost a lot of money. There's outlay. There's a lot of somebody's revenue being spent running a race car, and there are a lot of people that want a piece of it. And I think having those voices of experience in the background, in a way which is not partisan to any other goal than purely helping you, than purely being behind British motorsport and British racing drivers, is something which is terrifyingly rare, actually, in the world of motorsport. Anybody who comes up to you often in a racing paddock to proffer advice may have your goals at heart, but will also have theirs. The BRDC and the Superstars program are all about the drivers, and that's why it's such a positive thing for them, I think.
Is it something at the time that you really kind of you're aware of, but actually it's once you move away from it and you're let loose in your own career, I suppose, that you suddenly go, oh, actually that was so valuable?
I mean, however much you manage to engage with the program, I certainly look back on it now and think, yeah, there was more resource for me to take there. And if there's anything I could say to the young drivers involved this year, it's really max it out. If you get the opportunity to just put a call in to each of the individuals involved in the Superstar program, I can tell you, I was too shy. I was too shy as a superstar. I was worried about bothering people, but I can tell you, there's nothing that I enjoy more as getting on, a 30-year-old sports car driver than being able to just give just the tiniest bit of advice, if I can, to someone coming through. And certainly those with considerably more experience than me and considerably more success than me in motorsport will certainly feel the same way. So those contacts can be really helpful.
And as you say, it is something that's unique. It doesn't happen around the world in every country that you go to. I mean, Britain has such a heritage with motorsport, and Silverstone has its own place within that, as does the BRDC. And that relationship with the BRDC never ends, really, does it, for you guys?
No, I mean, the BRDC is a lifelong membership. And when you walk into the clubhouse, everybody in that clubhouse is a racing driver and a proper one, and that's brilliant. That's
I've got no chance. That's basically what you're telling me. Never will I be part of the BRDC. I can just stand on the outside and look in wishfully.
Here you are on the podcast, and you are very much part. Or there are associate members and so on and so forth. But those people in the BRDC are passionate, involved, and they know their motorsport. That is absolutely for sure. And something again, you as a youngster, I was so involved with it from such an early age that it was just a mainstay in my life, even as a very, very young man. And now kind of approaching and continuing my professional career as a 30-year-old race car driver, I look at it and I see the incredible value there.
Subscribe to the Silverstone Podcast now.